Bonnie C, another trucker. Man, this good old state of North Carolina. Coming out the gym, Planet Fitness, feeling good. Ah, man. Finna get ready to head on back home, man. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's the 4th? Damn. Be forgetting, man, these days and these holidays. Am I even gonna, let me see what time I'm gonna get home tomorrow. I guess I'll be at home in time for some festivities, but to be honest with you, I really don't give a fuck about. I don't know. But anyway, is there such thing as freedom in trucking? You know what I'm saying? What is the definition of freedom in trucking? Can you get freedom in trucking? Freedom. You know, I talk about that a lot. My freedom. Fighting for my freedom. But one thing I come to realize, man, freedom, what freedom might mean to somebody else, you know, freedom is subjective. It can be anything that you want it to be. Everybody's definition or perception of freedom ain't the same thing. To me, I mean, a person, you know what I'm saying? Freedom could be looked at in different ways. You know, freedom can be somebody who used to be an owner-operator and shit didn't work out the way they wanted to, or they decided to leave that aspect of trucking and just, you know, they ended up with a good company job. That could be freedom to somebody. While on the other hand, most of us, we feel like getting our own truck is the journey to freedom. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out here on the road is not really depressed and hard pressed to be trying to get back home all the time. You know, you got some people out here who got families, wives, and these people would rather be on the road than be around their families. They when they go home, they do their home time, man. They can't, and when that shit is up, they can't wait to get back in the truck, to get back on the road. You know, old school cat that I used to work with. You know, he was a Southern man. You know, he loved his family. And he was a little older guy. You know what I'm saying? At the time, he probably about touching 60 now, in his early 60s probably now. But I just remember at the time we used to talk, man, and he used to always tell me, like, man, I love my kids, but that don't mean I like all the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And I just seen like the way he moved, man, and he really enjoyed his time away from his family. He loved his family, loved his wife, all that. But he really enjoyed his time being away from his family. You know, have his little strap on him, have his cigars and shit. You know how y'all old school cats be moving. Y'all got y'all shit, y'all like the way y'all like to do things. But yeah, he used to be free out here on this road. Well, you know, I'm pretty sure he's still doing the same shit, but everybody's sense of freedom is different. But to me, you know, I don't want nobody getting confused. Like, when I say freedom, fighting for my freedom, being in control of my time, it don't all the time mean just being in control of my time so I can just do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know, have my own truck so I can just park my truck up and go on vacation anytime I want to. Like, nah, it don't work like that. They don't work like that at all. You know, as the saying goes, with much power comes much responsibility. Freedom, to a degree, is power. So the more freedom that you get, the more responsibility you're gonna have, especially with this trucking. When you have your own truck, or you're responsible for your own equipment. Matter of fact, shout out to Dream Chaser, family man, in the comment section. He said I might as well. I think he said I need to trademark that, because I'm always saying that, being responsible for your own equipment. I say that because people always arguing about who an owner operator, who ain't an owner operator. Look, you responsible for your own equipment. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say that, being responsible for your own equipment. The game changes once you become responsible for your own equipment, whether you leased on to a company, or you got your own authority. You in a different ballpark once you become responsible for paying for expenses on the truck. So that's why I always say that. But freedom costs, and I always say that. And I always look back on history. I always use history as a point of reference. And it's the shit that keep me going, because during times of antiquity and history, man, people had to die and kill for freedom. Freedom just wasn't negotiated at a table, and it didn't work like that. Even in life, in this civilized society, we have to bust our asses, and we have to make sacrifices, and we have to work hard at a certain point in time in our lives to, be able to establish sovereignty over our lives at some point in time. So I understand that. And freedom to me is not just parking my truck up and going on vacation when I want to. You know what I'm saying? Even to take days off. That still, if you're doing it right, that still take time. That still take planning. Depending on your situation, if you got bills and shit that's aligned with your business, whether you got a truck note, insurance, or whatever the case may be, deductions, like, you still have to plan the time off around. You still got to plan accordingly, so that way when you come back from your time off, you not in a hole. That's why I be hearing, like, I've never done a lease purchase, but I hear it all the time. When people, it's hard to take days off in a lease purchase, because when you take days off and you come back, you always in the hole. Having my own truck, being leased on to a company, a lot of times when you leased on to a company, the company is the umbrella that makes things cheaper for you. So my deductions ain't that high compared to somebody they got their own authority. You know what I'm saying? And anytime I ever took off, I never really had to worry about. I always planned and always knew, okay, I'm taking this time off in this month, or whatever the case may be. When I came back to work, I was never like being, you know what I'm saying? Whatever deductions I had to pay, man, this shit never broke me. Because I always had the resources to cover me for the time that I took off. But you got to think about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got your own truck don't mean you just going to be out here free willy-nilly. Technically, I always say that I'm fighting for my freedom. Now, in some ways, yes, I have earned a certain level of freedom and sovereignty. I don't have to wait and ask nobody for no PTO, or wait for no PTO to be approved. Like, that's huge for me. To somebody else, it might not be for them, but to me, that's a level of sovereignty. It ain't the end all be all, because truth be told, altogether, I'm still not free. You know what I'm saying? I'm still having to abide by this company's rules and regulations. I'm still working under this company. You get what I'm saying? So we still sharecropping out here. We ain't all the way free, or not me. But freedom is subjective. Freedom can be whatever you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? But with freedom come responsibility, especially in this trucking shit. Like, you still got a plan. Having your own truck don't all the time mean that you free all the time. You got more, when you got your own shit, when you're responsible for your own equipment, you worried about more shit. You, as a company driver, when you get off on Friday, you work Monday through Friday, and you go live your regular life. When you park your truck, your company vehicle on Friday, you get your shit about that truck and you go about your business. You don't have to worry about shit till you come back to work on Monday, or whenever you start your shift again. You don't got to worry about nothing. Me, as a person that's responsible for their own equipment, I got shit to worry about. Just like when I get home tomorrow, I don't even know if I'm going to make it, or I don't know, I might be able to stop by either when I get home, or if I can stop, if you know what I'm saying, everything go right, I can stop by the freight line. I still got to go pick up parts for shit that I need for my truck, because I got to put my truck in the shop between Saturday, Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? It's always shit I got to worry about. So am I really free? I got the most sovereignty I ever had thus far in my life. At this point in time, in trucking, I have the most sovereignty. And what I mean by sovereignty, I have more control. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm still working under a company. I'm still subjected to what they going on and the loads they got available and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I just look at it like I'm slowly weaning myself off from dependency. You know what I'm saying? Even with having your own authority. Yeah, you independent. You could be independent, but what if you get some good contracts with some customers or some shippers? You're gonna be bound to them contracts. That don't mean that you're just gonna be able to take off whenever you want to. You still dependent on somebody. You know, I like to travel. I like to, you know what I'm saying, when it come time, like, have the free time to do whatever you want to do. That's just the byproduct of everything else in this shit. But I like to move around. I like to travel. If I was to be have my own authority and be having contract with direct contracts with direct shippers or whatnot, that'll probably take away from my freedom or what I like to do in my extracurricular time. So I guess, you know what I'm saying? Freedom is whatever it means to you. But to me, overall, though, freedom in this society, in today's time, freedom could be just being debt free. You know what I'm saying? Shit, being a company driver with no debt, that's freedom. Being a company driver with no debt is freedom, as compared to being an owner operator that's just drowning in debt. Is that freedom? Think about it. You know, that's part of the reason why I don't really, you know, just looking forward, if, you know, come time to getting another truck, I don't really see myself fucking with no brand new truck. And it's not because I'm prejudiced against brand new trucks. It's just the concept. Because I'm looking at the bigger picture. Getting a brand new truck, you're going to be on the hook for $3,000 to $4,000 a month. That means that I'm going to be forced to have to depend. My dependency is stronger on things that's outside of my control. I got to depend on the market. You know, trucking is a volatile industry, volatile market. So I'm putting myself in a position to have to depend on the market. I have to depend on the relationship with, if I got a relationship with brokers, or if I'm leased on to a company, I'm dealing with dispatchers. I have more dependency. And as we all know, this trucking shit goes up and down. So with a new truck, with a brand new truck, and you financing it, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, some people that's been owner operators that had bad experiences with used trucks, I seen somebody in the comment section the other day, they said, fuck that, get a brand new truck, have X amount of money stacked up. I agree with the money that they said, you know, you should probably have stacked up, you know, 70 to 80 bands, you know, it's all subjective, but what he said, I agree. But I don't know about a new truck though, man. I don't know. I guess it just, like I say, man, with the freedom part, it just come with a lot of, it's a lot of responsibility to earn your freedom in this shit. You have to accept a lot of responsibility around that shit. So to just go get a brand new truck and be on the hook for them high payments, that ain't really freedom to me. Cause I have to depend on more shit. That's just like And I brought this up before. It was a dude that was on Asia My channel last year, 2024, and he had a 2023 Pete long nose. I think it was a 379, whatever. Souped up, custom, and chrome inside, immaculate. But he was complaining about rates. That's not freedom. Now, with a used truck, if I get a cash truck, however much it costs, I pay for it out of my pocket. And I got an operation to where I have low overhead. See, in these 3 years, going on 3 years since I've been responsible for my own equipment, I know it's funny. Shout out to Dream Chaser once again, and I'm laughing every time I say that. But it's true. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I've been responsible for my own equipment, man, what's the point I was trying to make? Yeah, ever since I've been responsible for my own equipment, I could just see a clear picture of how I want to do things and what's valuable to me. Man, I don't want to be on the hook. I'm trying to minimize dependency as much as possible on factors that I can't control. See, if I got a truck that I done paid for out of my pocket, I can weather most storms. You know what I'm saying? My defense is most solid. The industry get volatile, shit get low, I can weather these storms because I have low overhead because all my shit paid off. You know what I'm saying? I keep up with the maintenance. I got a network, a couple mechanics I fuck with. You know, if you willing to put that work in, like, yeah, you know, yeah, your operation gonna be cheaper, but yeah, of course, no matter what you choose, what I've realized, no matter which route that you go with getting a truck, it's always gonna be a level of responsibility involved in some type of way. You just got to decide what you're willing to deal with. I think a lot of people make decisions that depending on however they want to do it. But I think a lot of people don't. A lot of people get newer trucks because they don't want to have to deal with the hassle of dealing with mechanics, or they think that they don't want to have to work on shit they sell. They got all these warranties, so all they gonna have to do is just pull up at the dealership, get the shit fixed. And I mean, yeah, but you know what? All I know with my truck, with this DD15, I've been tested. And it ain't to say that the test ain't done coming, but I've been tested. And you know what I'm saying? I know I done seen it, I done found it in myself. I done seen a reflection of myself that I'm willing to get down and dirty with this shit. So I don't have no problem with buying a cash truck or a used truck and being willing to put work in myself and having relationships with mechanics and, you know what I'm saying, doing it like that. Yeah, and sometimes when you're doing it like that, you're gonna have to spend more time with your truck. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna be able to just pull your truck up when it's time to get off and just go about your business. Sometimes you're gonna have to spend extra time with your truck. You might get home and then boom, I gotta go now, I gotta go get these parts, I gotta run over here, I gotta do this, you know, you gotta do all this extra shit. But to me, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's like next week, Monday, I'm finna leave and go to Florida, go kick it for a few days. Me and a couple friends, we gonna go kick it. I ain't have to ask nobody for shit. Hey, I'm finna leave this day. I'll be back on 11, whatever you got when I come back. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-woo. Then my dispatcher hit me back. He just hit me back not too long ago before I started making this video. He was like, man, you sure you don't want to work next week? I take that as a compliment. I'm like, man, I ain't got no problem with running, but I need these few days off, man. You know what I'm saying? But I like that, though. I like that. Because they know I'm Pac-Man. I'm eating everything up in front of me. So sometimes you got to, just like it goes back to what I was talking about in a previous video, you got to take some time out for yourself. And that's what I've been doing. I've been living life a little bit. Been living life. Doing shit that's outside my normal way of doing things. You know, we going to Pompano Beach. Probably fuck around Miami or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Just whatever. Just my homegirl brought the idea up. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? My birthday, in 2 weeks anyway. So, this is something she want to do. She's like, well, fuck it, you might as well come with us. You know, even though it ain't gonna be the time we gonna be there, ain't gonna be on your birthday, but you know, I want to kick it with you for your birthday. So I'm like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It feel good just to be doing that. Like, I don't have to see that's freedom. That's part of freedom to me. I don't have to be sitting around waiting for nobody to approve no time off. That shit dead to me. I'd have been there, done that. I'd have been in the workforce since I was 15 years old. That shit is nah. And we gonna keep on steady building, but I just want people to know, when I talk about having freedom, I'm not talking about just some willy-nilly shit, just get a truck and you just gonna be free. Hell no. The more money you make, more problems. With more power come more responsibility. And with freedom, freedom is power. That comes with more responsibility. So you're not just finna just be willy-nilly out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't never say like I'm fighting for my time back, because whatever time is lost, I'll never get it back. The time I've been in the workforce, I'm not gonna get my time back. The only thing that I can do right now, man, is enjoy life and keep in mind in the background, you know, I'm always doing shit to help create a soft landing for myself as I get older, so I won't have to depend on nobody else. It's really just as simple as that. You know, there's different aspects of freedom, fam. Just the way that I approach trucking since I've been in trucking. You know, and I don't say this in no bragging way, but it's just real shit. I ain't never been broke. I ain't never been down on my ass. You know, yeah. You know, when the motherfuckers hit me with that one box charge, or told me that price, yeah, I leaned on my company for help. That's the last, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, the last time I had to borrow some money from somebody, because I hate asking people for shit, was before I got in trucking. I had to borrow a couple dollars from my pops and borrow a couple dollars from one of my homeboys. And I remember when I called my homeboy, it took everything. You don't understand. It took everything in me to call and ask for help. And I remember when I called him, my voice was cracking like, man. And I just remember my nigga was like, dog, it's okay, dog. I got you, man. It's okay. It's okay, because it's been times to where we done had to help each other. That's how much I hate asking people for shit. Even when it came time to asking for help for that, to help pay for that one box, OG had to get in my ass. Like, no, you go do that, you go do that. I didn't want to ask them motherfuckers. I did not want to ask them. But besides those times, especially being in trucking, man, that's the only time I ever had to ask somebody for help. So, yes, I have earned certain freedoms, certain financial freedom. No, I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, my overwhelming averages of having money, being in trucking, man, I ain't never been broke. That's, to me, that's a level of freedom. I ain't never had to borrow no money off no nigga, none of that. Never been down. You know, except for going through my trial and error with this owner-operator shit, or being responsible for my own truck, that type of shit. But other than that, been free. And that's why I always speak highly of people being company. Like, yeah, I'm on this side. I'm on the side of being in control of your own shit. I left the company shit alone. I left that. But I don't knock it, and I don't judge people who feel like that's for them, because everybody might not have a mindset for this shit. And then I can't help but to look back. When I was company, man, shit was easy peasy. I had to worry about shit. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is drive. Like, yeah, you gotta deal with the pain of dealing with other people's shit and being on somebody else's schedule, and you might want these days off, and then you gotta hiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is little shit like that I just don't got time for no more. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like as a grown man, and this don't apply to everybody that's grown. You know, I don't want nobody to think like just because you depend on PTO, like I'm looking down on you. This ain't what I'm saying. But it's just, for me, certain shit, I ain't got time to be waiting for nobody to approve time for me no more. I don't have time for that. Even before, even when I was visualizing what I was gonna do as I was coming in the trucking from the very beginning, like I didn't look at being an owner operator for my freedom just so I could take time off to go on vacations. I was already knowing like, okay, once I get this up, then I'm gonna be investing in these things. You know, it's gonna be more real estate in the future, so I'm gonna need time to be able to address certain things that I got going on. So if I'm working on a project, if I got some type of rehabilitation going on, a rehab going on, or whatever it is I might be working on a property, whatever, I'm in a position to just park my truck up and go handle my goddamn business. I don't have to be waiting on PTO, waiting nobody to approve shit. I don't got time for that. Because I know what type of mission that I'm on. I need to be in control. I need to have the most sovereignty I can get on my time. That's what the fuck freedom is to me. So freedom could be whatever it is to you. It's subjective. But I just want, like I say, I don't, you know, I'm not putting freedom out there like it's some willy-nilly shit like, you know, as soon as you get a truck, you just finna just be floating in the clouds. No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. As a matter of fact, you get your own truck from a company driver, you're gonna have more responsibility. It's gonna be on you to plan and plot your life and strategize your business. It's gonna be more thinking, more working, more sacrificing. You really not free when you get your own shit. Real talk, when you really think about it. But if you can establish yourself, use your money right, put your money in the right places, do what you're supposed to do. You know, the typical, what we look at as typical being free, you know, you can establish that. I believe. So I know what moving forward, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my truck paid off now. We gonna ride it out, see where it go. You know what I'm saying? We gonna ride it out. I done heard people say, oh man, them DD15s, man, they don't go past 700,000 miles and all this shit. I'm over 8. I'm just now touching 800,000 miles, and truck been running good. I already got my bottom end done. I already got replaced. What I replaced, the rod and the main bearings. I stayed, you know what I'm saying? I have grown to be more anal about my maintenance on my truck. I don't fuck around. Every 10,000 miles, like right now, about time I get back home, I'm gonna be at 10,000 miles since the last PM. Putting my shit right back in the shop. You know, my mechanic always tell me about other little shit that I need to address every time. So we got some shit we need to address. Put that shit in the shop. I'm gonna be going to Florida. When I get back, my shit be ready. Man, I don't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? And with establishing your freedom in this shit, you're gonna have to be willing to spend money. Some shit I had to tweak in my life. You know, I like trinkets, I like bullshit, I like superficial shit, but I had to, like, as this shit done got realer, I'm like, nah, I can't buy no bottles of cologne like I want to. I can't be spending money on shoes and shit like I want to. Not at this very point. Then, you know, my money going in my truck. And you know what? It feel good. It feel good. It is a sense of freedom knowing that you're in control of your own destiny. And that's the beauty about this trucking. You can be in control of your own destiny. Is it going to be easy? No. But you can be in control of your own destiny. But you got to be willing to put the work in and accept what come with embracing that power of being in control of your own destiny, because that shit come with responsibility, family. So, yeah, man, I'm going ahead, head on out. Vonnie C. Y'all have a safe 4th of July. Gone.